So here we are back on our Linux machine. We're already loaded directly into Metasploit. And the first thing that we need to do is to go and compromise that machine. So what I'm going to do is use exploit, Windows, SMB, and we'll use the PSExec one that we used before. This is going to drop us into the PSExec window. I'm going to set my payload to be Windows Meterpreter session, and we'll do a reverse TCP, which is what we used before. Now if I do show options, we get all the values that we need to fill in. Luckily, because we're using the same session that we used previously, these values are still set for us. So my R host is the Windows machine that we compromised before. I still have my regular account. And then of course, I've already set up my listener, which is me on my IP address to SSL. So what I can do from here, I'm just going to clear the screen. I can then simply do exploit. And now we have an exploit open. So we have a Meterpreter session, which is now on my target machine. Now we know that this one works because we used this in the previous module and examples. So I'm now directly connected to this middle Windows machine. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to run specific things and find things that are beyond my reach. So the first thing we're going to have to do is run a command on that machine. So we can use run get local subnets. Now remember where this is running. This is running on the compromised machine. So this then returns me two subnets, one that I know about, and then a second one that I didn't know about. I assumed there was something, but I had not yet received those IP addresses. So now we know that there's a 192.168.1 subnet that resides on the other side of my machine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use a command called background. What background will do is return me back to a standard Metasploit screen, leaving my session to my machine already open. There we go. So it's backgrounded my session. If I ever want to see the sessions, I can type sessions and I, and it will list me any sessions that I may have active. And as you can see, I have an existing session from before called session 3, but our new one is session 4. So let me just clear that. What we're going to do here is we're going to add a specific route to that subnet that we know we can't see, and we're going to send it down the session that we have. So we created session 4. So this means that any traffic that I wish to get to 192.168.1.something is going to go through my Meterpreter session. So my route's been added. What I'm now able to do is now go back into my session and start to run some commands. So I can do sessions I to make sure it's still 4 and choose number 4. And then I get the interactive session back for number 4. What I can then do is run another tool called run ARP scanner, and I'll specify that IP range that we don't have any information on. All we know is that my target machine that I've compromised has access to that subnet. So let's run the ARP scanner remotely on this machine to tell me what's behind. As you can see, it's finished ARP scanning on that IP address range, and now there's a whole host of machines and servers that reside on the other side. Now I don't have direct access to these machines, but my target machine does. So we can then utilize these machines, we can then utilize my target machine to now get to other machines. And that's the power of what's called pivoting. The idea of me sending packets, traffic, whatever you want to send commands from the attack machine through this middle tier to get to something else.